I feel like asking you about something called prebiotic Earth.
Okay.
Which is Earth before biology.
Okay.
Like the Earth was formed out of like a part of the sun, I believe.
You're right.
I think that's one theory, and the other theory is that it was a coagulation of possible multiple meteorites that came together. I think it was actually a part of the sun, which went away from the sun and then kept revolving around it.
Right.
And we are just in a phase of time where there's too many factors that are conducive, including our gravity, including the fact that some comet with water hit this rock, etc., etc. At the time of prebiotic Earth, there wasn't even fungus. Like, there was no biology on this planet. We were just hydrocarbons burning. Were deities on Earth at that time?
I believe that deities were there from a very ancient time, even perhaps before the formation of Earth.
Okay. Let me ask you about the birth of deities then.
Okay.
When did the birth of deities happen? Did it happen at the Big Bang?
So from a scientific perspective, again, what I'm telling is more kind of a speculative answer.
Sure.
So there is, the way I look at it, being a Shakta, fundamentally, worshipper of Shakti. So first, there is what we call the Adi Shakti. She's, when there was nothing, there is this Sukta of the Rig Veda which says, that describes that there is, when there was nothing, absolutely, that time too, there was something that, something existed which was beyond what you can imagine. So that condition of before the creation of forms, there are two. Let's just to break it down. Let's just say that there are two stages. One is that when things are formless, and when there is a formed. So this stage when things are completely formless, it's a misconception, by the way, among people who believe that the formless is higher than the formed. I believe that no, the formless is not at all higher or lower or anything of that sort. It's two phases of one energy. That's it. It doesn't make it lesser or more or something like that. It's just a human perception. So once initial stages, there is the Adi Shakti, the ultimate form of energy, whom we call the Divine Mother, whose origin cannot be found
or understood.
Found, nothing. It's like that moment of singularity you have. Just to give an example, I'm not saying that everything is scientific. Dharma is its own way, science is its own way. But since we landed in this section of the conversation, so it is like that what science defines as singularity or something that which you cannot define as a clear answer. So this energy, this Divine Mother whom we worship as the Adi Shakti, her source is unknown to anybody. It's perhaps beyond the mental comprehension. So there are three stages, three things that the mind can comprehend. One is that which is difficult. You may say that this task is difficult. Then there is something that is very difficult to achieve, but at least in the imagination you can achieve. Some weird things say, in imagination can go anywhere. In the imagination, I can go to the sun right now. Doesn't mean I'm physically going. So it's very difficult task to achieve, but at least the imagination can go. And then there is a third stage where the imagination also cannot go. It's beyond human imagination. It is from that kind of a source that is the Adi Shakti. From Adi Shakti, or in another scheme, Para Bhairava. So this thing, this great force, this being, this entity, we don't know much about it. We worship that energy. It's not even like a being. It's not like somebody sitting in a throne and judging. No. It's not like that. It's entirely different. And it reveals itself only to those who have that capacity and go to that state slowly. Little bit. From there, it evolves downward. It sends its energy downward into creation. And the first stage, from there, the deities are formed, different deities. The great gods whom we worship from that Adi Shakti. And each of them, very interestingly, is given its own domain and independence to function. It is not even that it's like this. Suppose fuel or petrol is used in car. So you can use the same petrol in 5 different cars. Each of the cars are independent to go wherever they want to go. It is the petrol that is driving all the cars, but the cars are independent. Similarly, the gods are independent in their function and their attributes and their domains. So there is a certain sense of, there's a freedom that is given, and yet it is that energy which is driving. From there, slowly, there is in Kashmiri Shaivism, they have this idea that the world is created by Shakti. Okay, Shakti of Shiva, and is Swatantra. The word is very interesting. They use Swatantra. Swatantra means absolutely independent. Independent means, if you think about it, none of us are independent. Today, if you have to just, without telling anybody, you decide, okay, I just go and, with some friends, 3-4 days, you take a car, and your parents will be worried, your friends, baki, others will be worried. So you are not entirely independent. Nobody in the world is entirely independent. Your independence is contextual. Okay. But there is this great force which is absolutely independent. Okay. And from there it decides that it curtails itself. And slowly it starts coming down into the material and creates the material world.
You're talking about God and the creation of our realm.
Yes. And in that creation process, first thing that comes is the deities.
Okay. As in, this reality is so crazy that we can't even imagine what it is. But in order to express itself to our realm, it has to simplify itself, which means it removes some parts. After it removes its true nature, it becomes God. When it removes more of itself and then tries giving us a vision of itself, it expresses itself as deities.
To some degree, but I will not use the word God here because I'll use the word divine. Okay, the divine mother or divine. Let's put the word divine. Ultimate divine. Okay, because the God has its own connotations. I don't want to go into that complexity, that aspect. So, but basically, from there is the first term is the deities, the devatas, the great gods, the great divines. Okay, devatas we call it. So that is Shiva is there, Ganpati is there, or Hanumanji is there, or these are the great ones. Okay, each one of them also, by the way, has the independence to manifest himself as the supreme or herself as the supreme. Okay, so which means that somebody who is worshipping Shiva eventually will see Shiva as everything. Somebody who is worshipping say Lord Rama will see Rama as everything. Because each one has the ability to manifest also, because they're so close to their ultimate reality. Even their level only we can't imagine. Forget the ultimate reality. Even their level also you cannot imagine. And for all purposes, they're eternal, because you don't know how long back they came into existence. Okay, and this is something I tell people tomorrow. By some unfortunate incident, if all all life on earth goes away, the deities will still exist. They have been there for a very long time. And they will be there till the end of what you call dissolution, until a new cycle again starts off. From there, the energy comes down into the creation of material earth, and then there is an evolutionary process or whatever happens, and then humans come into the scene. So humans are like, and in this regards, I follow Sri Aurobindo's writings. I find him to be a great philosopher. So humans are like this middle creature. There's a part in the humans which can go downwards towards the lesser realms, let's say the darker realms. At the same time, there is a part in humans which, if correctly channelized, can also manifest the gods, the devatas.
You mean we can evolve?
Yes. Even in flesh.
Even in flesh means?
Even in flesh means while you're still alive.
Oh, you can reach the level of a god?
Theoretically.
And not everyone does, because nature also has a role to play there. You can put in your hard work, but then circumstances may not be.
A lot of other factors play a part. And reaching to the level of the gods is not at all easy. That's why I say that in theory it's possible. Of course, in practice, rarely if ever somebody reaches that stage. So, so this is the basic format of creation, sort of. Okay. So we, for average human beings, it is very good to worship the devatas, the primary deities, gods we have, because each of them are so connected to the source that they can, if they want specific individual, they can take you to that state.
Okay.
Each one of them.
Okay.